right. Thanks. So, yeah, I'm Maximum, and this is going to be an any percent run of Toxic 2, which is a Flash game with a pretty interesting history. So, for about 5 years, there were only 3 or so runners that ever set, world records in the any percent category, and we set over 40 records as we kept finding new and new ways to break the game and new glitches to skip huge parts of levels and the 2 bosses in the game. But after I made a video on the game, kind of sharing the history with the world, it got a lot more popular and now has over 50 runners, and there's been a lot of new stuff found that I'll hopefully be able to show off today. So without further ado, timing will begin as soon as I click on level 1. So 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, so we're going to go ahead and skip that opening cutscene and then throw a bomb on this computer thing here to open this door. And right away, we're going to do a wall scale here to skip the entirety of the first level. Alright, so this game has a very simple exploit where if you're sliding on a wall and then tap in the opposite direction for a bit while continuing to hold in the direction facing the wall, you will just land back on the wall higher up than where you started, and you can just repeat that infinitely to gain infinite height on the wall. And in level 1, that just allows you to skip the entire thing. So in level 3 here, we're just going to platform through these lasers here, avoiding taking damage there, and you're going to have to wait a bit before hitting that teleporter at the end, since if you hit the teleporter in your damage state, you kind of freeze for a bit. Alright, so in level 4 here, we're going to need to take notice to our health bar at the bottom, so you can only take 4 hits before dying, so we're going to boost through some of these bombs that we're putting down to remove the ground. And that allows us to save a little bit of time, but we need to make sure we don't lose all of our health here. So I'm going to do a final damage boost here to get to 1 hit of health left. And then we're going to throw a bomb here and crouch, wait for that to explode, and then hopefully hit a glitch here to skip most of the level. Got to get set up for it. And almost. There we go. All right, so we just clipped through the wall there with a technique known as upwarping. So essentially, if you get clipped partially inside of like the edge of a ceiling or inside of a wall or in the floor in this game, the game checks a region like way too high above the player for a floor to snap them to. It's taller than the player sprite itself, so that allows you to kind of clip on top of ceilings that you kind of clip into the side of. So that's how we were able to skip most of the level there. All right, in level 6, we're going to get under the spider here, grab these platform bombs, put one down, and then take a damage boost here, do a little wall scale, and get to the end of the level right there. All right, in level 7, I'm going to avoid those platform bombs to the left and instead opt to do a wall scale through the spikes here. And then we're going to jump and put some bombs down to dig through the ground here. And then we're going to throw one more bomb after we get damage, which should hopefully get us through. And then we are going to do a wall scale on the left wall here and do the exact same technique that we did before to get through the ground. There we go. And then grab the platform bombs and then fall down. Do a little wall scale here, place the platform bomb, and get to the end of the level. Alright, so level 8 is definitely one of the most fun levels in the game, where you can kind of just do a wall scale here, and that gets you on top, and then you can just do this platform to completely avoid all of the laser maze stuff that you're supposed to get through, and then that'll send us to level 9. So at the start of the level here, I'm going to do a pretty difficult strategy where I will hopefully avoid having to wait for these pink blocks. There we go. Wall scale here to skip another pink block spawner and then go for fast 9. Did get it there. There we go. So that's going to get us to the upper section of the level early, saving around 10 seconds. So definitely really, really good that I just hit that. And then level 10 is a big boss fight that's supposed to take over a minute, but instead we're going to do this. And there we go. We just skipped the entire boss fight. So what that was a... and then by holding right, we just made it to the right side of the door before it closed, and that allowed us to reach the ending teleporter early. All right, so in level 11, I'm going to do a strategy here that involves an audio cue. All right, so there it was. So I'm going to walk forward, throw another bomb, fall down. Unfortunately, got a little unlucky there with how the bombs ended up working, so I'm just going to have to take the safe route here, but that is quite all right. What you're supposed to do there is kind of be where the pink blocks are when they spawn, and that allows you to just clip through the floor and skip having to break this wall. But that's quite all right. And while we're doing this, slow section here, it would be a good time for any donations or messages.
Absolutely. And we have a $50 donation from Thorn and Vicky. Oh, thank you very much for that. Saying, great job, Maximum.
Yeah, thank you, Mom. Love you. Love you and Dad so much. All right, yeah, so level 12 here, we're going to break the, spawn the pink platforms here, and then jump to the teleporter. And level 13, we can kind of skip some platforming at the start here by wall scaling on top of that sign right there. And then hopefully when we damage through this cannon here, we're going to stay upright, which we do. If you get unlucky, you can kind of like just fall through the platform and just die in the acid at the bottom of the level, but thankfully that did not happen. All right, so in level 14, we're going to spawn the pink platforms on the left and just use a wall scale to avoid having to spawn the ones on the right. And this is definitely one of the more fun platforming levels in the game where you don't really have to use any of the bombs. We'll get the fast cycle here, which we do, and then we'll just take a hit of damage here to get through all of the enemies and hit the teleporter. So now on level 15, we're going to be going for another up warp to skip the entire level, which requires a frame-perfect wall jump here, which is a bit difficult to get. There we go, just got it. All right, so yeah, level 16 going into another really interesting glitch in this game called bomb displacement, where if you throw bombs while getting damaged, the game doesn't really know where to place them, and so it just places them at the 0-0 point in the level with the same amount of velocity that they had, and that allowed them to, damage boost me up to the top section of the level, and I basically skipped the entire thing. All right, so level 17, we're going to get a clip through the ground here, which I thankfully got to the right side, which is a better side to get placed on since you're able to save a hit of damage by jumping there. And then I'm going to throw a bomb in the right spot, hopefully, which I do. And then I'm going to have to damage boost on the 5th bomb here, and then jump through the laser. And then going to pre-place 2 bombs here. Gotta wait for this one to explode, and I'm gonna hopefully hit the fast cycle here. I don't know if I'm set up well. Unfortunately, wasn't quite fast enough to hit that, but that's quite all right. We get another try at it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 tap, and we make it up. So another up warp there. That was an example of a turnaround up warp with a damage boost, which gives us just enough height for the game to snap us to the floor above. And that allows us to skip quite a significant portion of this level, which is really nice because this level is extremely long and has tons of digging that you have to do. So it's nice that we're able to skip most of that. The trick there is quite difficult, so glad we got it there without a death. All right, so level 18 is another platformer level, so we're just going to hopefully not have any issues with the wall jumps here. And hopefully get a pretty good cycle here at the start. So just going to avoid the spikes there because we do want to conserve damage to avoid any deaths, and get a little skip there to avoid having to jump on those platforms below, saving a little bit of time. Do some wall jumps there, do a pretty precise jump there to avoid banging our head, avoid the spikes here, and do some wall jumping to climb this section of the level. And then do some jumps here since it is a little bit faster than wall jumping. And then fall through these guys and make it to the end of the level with all of our health still intact. That went quite well. All right, so level 19, we're introduced to the runner bombs, which we are able to, activate remotely. So that gets us through the ground pretty quickly. And then we throw another one to activate these pink blocks, and another one. And then hopefully, there we go. So that was a frame perfect wall scale there to get to the upper section of the level early, and that is quite good. So I think this run is barely sub 9 pace, so hopefully I'm able to clutch this out. So this is the second boss and final boss of the game, and we have yet another up warp that we're able to do to skip the whole thing. So we're going to jump to this section of the level. I believe we are set up, so we're just going to jump, turn around, get placed on the ceiling, run to the right, and make our way over to the teleporter off screen. And that's going to be it, 9:02. All right. Yeah, so, yeah, unfortunately just barely missed the sub-9 there, but that was still a really, really great run for, a no reset in a marathon setting. So very, very happy about that. And I'll just let the ending cutscene play here. So yeah, this game is definitely pretty easy to get into. The resources are readily available, and there's a tutorial that you're able to watch if you're interested. But I think that's going to about do it for me. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for that run. That was intense. Really cool to see. We are going to go to a short intermission, but we will be back shortly with The Binding of Isaac, so don't go anywhere. Yep. See you soon.
Thank you.